Welcome to the Girl Scouts of Minnesota and Wisconsin River Valley's Ceremonies webinar. The topics we'll be covering today include an introduction to general ceremony information, traditional Girl Scout ceremonies, other Girl Scout ceremonies, Girl Scout days. We'll talk about resources. Ceremonies have been fundamental in Girl Scouting since the beginning. They reinforce values, pass on traditions, recognize accomplishments, strengthen friendships, and highlight the beliefs established in the Girl Scout Promise and the Girl Scout Law. Ceremonies are performed to honor special occasions, to recognize accomplishments, or to simply begin and end a meeting. And they provide a way for girls to express their feelings, friendship, patriotism, and their service. Girl Scout ceremonies also enable girls to share Girl Scout history and traditions and to create their own special memories. And ceremonies can be formal or informal and performed for a large or small group. To help make your ceremony a success, we've compiled 5 essential best practices. First, be sure to involve the girls in the planning and implementation process. It'll make the experience much more meaningful for the girls. Ceremonies are an opportunity for girls, not adults, to express themselves. And as girls get older, their responsibility for planning should expand. So be flexible and let the girls make mistakes and learn from them. Also, a ceremony can be completely made up by the girls, or they may choose to follow an existing script. There are so many options and opportunities available to you. Be sure to practice inclusivity, and in that be aware of factors such as race, religion, ethnicity, and cultural beliefs. This will ensure that the ceremony reflects who the girls are and is grade level appropriate as well. Be sure to follow safety-wise in the safety activity checkpoints and take appropriate safety precautions. And some ceremonies that involve candles, fire, water, etc. might have some concerns with them. And note that the parades and large group gatherings safety activity checkpoint contains particular information on this topic. Seek resources from reliable places. We'll cover appropriate resources in more depth toward the end of this presentation. And if you and your girls choose a formal ceremony, please follow the guidelines. Consider rehearsing with the girls to understand the space and timing. And also just know that official Girl Scout uniforms should always be worn when performing a formal ceremony. There are numerous elements to consider when planning a ceremony. And because ceremonies are so diverse, the list is highly variable. However, we did want to provide you with some initial ideas. So the ceremony itself, be aware of the purpose, the type, the theme, the components of the ceremony. And then for the event, think about the date, the time, and the promotion of that ceremony event. Consider the budget in terms of materials, decor, food, and venue. And then speaking of venue, be sure to think about things like seating, setup and takedown, equipment, how big your audience will be. And then for the people, consider the girls themselves, how they will be involved both in the planning and implementation and reception of the ceremony. Consider your helpers, who you might need to get involved to help you. Your audience, your participants, maybe if you're going to have a speaker, and consider if you're having a ceremony that would require a first aider. There are several traditional Girl Scout ceremonies that we'll be covering today. These include investiture, rededication, court of awards, and bridging. An investiture ceremony is an opportunity to officially welcome a new girl or new adult into Girl Scouting for the first time. And in the investiture, the new member recites the Girl Scout Promise and Law, agrees to subscribe to the values and principles of Girl Scouting, and receives the pin appropriate to her grade level. On the top left on the screen here is a special grade level membership pin for Girl Scout Daisies. In the center is one for Girl Scout Brownies. And on the bottom is the standard pin worn by all Girl Scout members. These can be given during an investiture ceremony. Rededication takes place each year a girl or adult renews her membership in Girl Scouting. It doesn't matter if they're consecutive years or if there's been a break in membership. The purpose is for members to reaffirm their commitment to Girl Scouting by reciting the Girl Scout Promise. Investiture and rededication ceremonies are often done together since everyone is present. However, rededication should be done first so that those girls and adults can then assist with the investiture. Girls can wear the appropriate Girl Scout pin as reviewed in the previous slide, and they would receive their new membership star at the rededication. In the center is a fun patch that you can purchase from the store to also give the girls during this time. Council-sponsored Silver and Gold Award ceremonies take place in the spring at River Valleys. This year they'll be held on Sunday, May 19th in Owatonna and Sunday, June 2nd in Minneapolis. This is where Silver and Gold Award recipients are formally recognized for achieving these higher awards. This might also happen at the troop or service unit level, as Bronze Award ceremonies typically do. Court of Awards is a ceremony held one or more times a year to recognize what girls have accomplished and to provide them with an opportunity to feel proud of those accomplishments. This is often done in the spring as a troop, or it can be done as an entire service unit. Girls might receive badges, patches, pins, and certificates at this time, or if you choose to hand those out throughout the year, a different special recognition or award can be handed out at the Court of Awards ceremony. There are various ways to package and present girls with their awards. However, it is important to recognize each girl individually by name. It's also a great time for girls to do peer-to-peer recognition. So on this slide you can see a few ways volunteers present girls with Court of Award recognition items. There are of course many ideas out there, like pinning things to a felt trefoil or even a Gerber daisy. So as a best practice, you'll want to highlight what badges or projects the troop worked on together in case some girls have missed meetings and weren't able to participate. Some leaders choose to conceal their badges or other awards in a decorative bag with tissue paper for this reason, and also so girls don't lose their items at the event. Unless it's a practice of your service unit, it's not recommended to distribute cookie program activity rewards at a Court of Awards ceremony, but to do those at a separate time. Bridging marks a girl's transition from one leadership level to the next and is an exciting time in a Girl Scout's life. A bridging ceremony itself can be symbolized by walking across a stage, walking on stepping stones, walking under an arch, or simply walking from one area in the room to another. It often happens as a part of a Court of Awards ceremony. But what's important is paying tribute to the girls as they move forward and honoring them for their progression and growth. Here's a closer look at the Bridging Awards, which are earned by completing two steps: pass it on and look ahead. Earning the Bridging Award emphasizes the continuity of one Girl Scout program to another and to welcome girls to the anticipated next level. A girl does not have to complete the Bridging Award to advance to the next Girl Scout level. Girls are joining Girl Scouts at every level every year. She, however, will not earn the actual Bridging Award unless those two steps are completed, the pass it on and look ahead. Pictured are the Bridging Awards that you can purchase in the Girl Scout store. The Bridging Award patch is an earned award which is worn on the front of the vest or sash. The Bridging to Brownies Award is worn on the Brownie vest and sash. Bridge to Juniors Award is worn on the Junior vest and sash, etc. In addition to the Bridging Award patches, a girl who is currently a Girl Scout Brownie bridging to Girl Scout Juniors can purchase and wear the Brownie Wings patch to show that she's completed her years as a Girl Scout Brownie. She's ready to fly up into Girl Scout Juniors. This is a tradition that goes back to when Girl Scout Brownie leaders were called brown owls, and moving from one level to the next was called flying up. The wings are worn on the sash or vest directly under the Bridging Awards. The Girl Scout Brownie wings are often given at year-end award ceremonies. Several bridging ceremony webinars were recently held at River Valleys, so feel free to access that presentation with an audio narration and a resource packet which will be available soon. There are several other types of Girl Scout ceremonies that we want to address today: flag ceremonies, Scout Zone, and campfire ceremonies. Inherent in the Girl Scout Promise is our belief in service to our country. Flag ceremonies are used to display our respect for that very important symbol of our nation. They also encourage flag education and build patriotism in youth as they develop their understanding of proper flag procedure. In Girl Scouting, flag ceremonies are sometimes used to open or close meetings, to enhance a larger celebration, or to honor a special person. Flag ceremonies might take place in the meeting room, outdoor settings, large auditoriums, on stage, even on horseback. During Girl Scout camp, the flag is raised in the morning and lowered at sunset. When a flag becomes tattered or worn, it should be disposed of by burning. This is called a flag retirement ceremony. Your local American Legion or veterans of foreign wars may be willing to assist you with this kind of ceremony and with others. In flag ceremonies, the U.S. flag, Minnesota State flag, and Girl Scout flag are used. These are available for checkout to troops at each service center in River Valleys. The U.S. flag must be positioned to the right of the other flags or in front of the other flags. This would be the same as to the audience left. It's best to keep it simple as possible and age appropriate. Emphasis should be on the respect for the flag rather than on the commands or techniques. The purpose of the Color Guard of Honor is to protect the flag, and they typically wear red sashes and white gloves. Color Guard members do not participate in any of the ceremony, such as singing or speaking, but they stand silent at attention. Ideally, you'll want 2 color guards for each flag. In addition, there's 1 color or flag bearer per flag, and 1 caller, which is the only member of the color guard to speak. Flag command examples in protocol is easy to find, and these resources will be discussed later on. Just as it's named, a Scout Zone ceremony is an inspirational and reflective ceremony planned and implemented by the girls themselves. It's based on a central theme which can be taken from nature, such as water, trees, and wind, things that the girls value, such as friendship, family, and service, or the Girl Scout promise and law itself. Ways to express the theme include music, poems, stories, and the setting. Scout Zone ceremonies are never religious, but they're always spiritual. Scout Zone ceremonies can be done anytime girls would like to express their feelings, and many times it's done as a closing to camp. It's not a performance, and therefore the entire group is expected to participate. It's a custom to leave the space quietly upon completion. There are numerous formal and informal ceremonies that take place around a campfire. One example is the spread of campfire ashes. Legend has it that Baden-Powell, the founder of Boy Scouts, would take a small amount of ashes from a campfire and spread these ashes into the next campfire he attended. Girls and adults do this today by sprinkling ashes taken from a campfire into the flames of the next one. The next morning, when the ashes are cold, they're stirred, and each Girl Scout takes some along to mix with their next campfire. If more than one member brings ashes to the same campfire, the lists are pooled, with the dates and places of all campfires recorded, and then those lists are passed on. Flag retirement ceremonies, which were mentioned earlier, are often done at the campfire as well. Finally, there are several special Girl Scout days that we want to highlight, and those often involve ceremonies and celebrations. These include Founders Day, Thinking Day, the Girl Scout Birthday, Leader Appreciation Day, and Girl Scout Sunday or Sabbath. Juliette Gordon-Low's birthday, or Founders Day, October 31st, marks the 1860 birth of Girl Scouts of the USA founder Juliette Gordon-Low in Savannah, Georgia. Juliette started the organization in 1912. Celebrations and ceremonies vary greatly from troop to troop. February 22nd, the common birthday of Lord and Lady Baden-Powell, who are the founders of Girl Guides, is known as Thinking Day. It's a time to explore other cultures, talk about world friendship, and remember other Girl Scouts and Girl Guides throughout the world. Since Girl Scouts and Girl Guides belong to WAGS, which is the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts, this is an appropriate time to discuss and present the World Association pin to invested Girl Scouts. It's important for girls to understand that there are 10 million Girl Guides and Girl Scouts from 145 countries across the world, making WAGS the largest voluntary movement dedicated to girls and young women in the world. There are 4 world centers: Archelaie in Switzerland, Sangam in India, Pax Lodge in the UK, and Arcabaña in Mexico. This year's theme, Girls Worldwide Say Together We Can Save Children's Lives, give girls a chance to take action on issues affecting children's lives in other countries. There are activities for each Girl Scout grade level and award to purchase in the shop. Juliette Gordon-Low started Girl Scouting in the United States on March 12, 1912. Girl Scout Week is the one that includes March 12th every year. Last year, River Valleys held 3 large events to celebrate the centennial anniversary. The Great Girl Gathering took place March 10th and 11th at the Mall of America and had more than 140,000 attendees from across the country. In April, River Valleys honored 100 women and 3 men at a centennial gala. And this past October, 25,000 girls and adults across River Valley's jurisdiction prevented 10 million pounds of algae growth in water sources by raking leaves, educating the public, and marking storm drains. Troops and service unit ceremonies and celebrations certainly vary. Girls may want to hold a ceremony to recognize the hard work of their leaders and other troop volunteers in honor of Leader Appreciation Day, April 22nd. Adults may receive membership pins, years of service pins, or informal recognition. I also want to note that GSUSA and River Valleys have formal adult awards that volunteers can be nominated for by the girls, their families, and other volunteers and staff. The descriptions and forms are available on the River Valleys website. On the left in the center of this screen is a fun pin that can be purchased in the shop, and there are also grade level specific volunteer pins. On the lower left-hand side is the Appreciation Pin Award. Upper right shows the Heart and Hand, which is River Valley's award, and in the lower right, the Volunteer of Excellence Award. Girl Scout Sunday and Girl Scout Sabbath gives girls an opportunity to attend their place of worship and be recognized as a Girl Scout. If a place of worship is the group sponsor, girls might perform a service such as greeting, ushering, or doing a flag ceremony. These days can also be a time when the girls explore other faiths. On the right are some fun patches for this day, and below are the My Promise, My Faith brownie level pin girls might choose to earn. The requirements can be found in the Girls' Guides. There's one for each year with every grade level. There are numerous resources available to assist you and your girls in the planning and implementation of Girl Scout ceremonies. Besides the numerous internal resources I'll cover in a few moments, the Internet has a wealth of images, ideas, and Girl Scout forums. You might want to vet these ideas by a seasoned volunteer or compare them to materials found in Girl Scout resources such as the Girls Guide to Girl Scouting, Journeys, resources within your own service unit, and River Valley's website and GSUSA's website. The Girls' Guides to Girl Scouting provide a wealth of knowledge that can help you on your path to planning a ceremony with girls. In the handbook section, you'll find history and traditions pertaining to the grade level you're working with. Each book also has pages that highlight the organizational structure of Girl Scouting, in addition to basic definitions of ceremonies. The Legacy Girl Scout Way Badges, Brownie through Ambassador, and Vi Flower Petal include steps that are relevant to Girl Scout ceremonies and celebrations. Each book also contains steps for bridging and My Promise, My Faith and requirements for earning these awards. Girl Scout Journey books contain snippets of Girl Scout history and traditions, appropriate to each grade level, that get girls excited about being a Girl Scout. Adult guides contain additional information relating to Girl Scout traditions and ceremonies. Sample sessions contain ceremony outlines and examples you can use right at troop meetings, which correspond to the journey theme and other activities. Some troops enjoy creating and holding a special ceremony upon the completion of a Girl Scout journey. There are numerous resources relating to ceremonies available on the River Valley's website. The Celebrations and Ceremonies packet is a great source that already exists. It can be found under the C section under Forms and Stuff. It covers the topics discussed during this presentation in depth and contains ceremony scripts, a glossary of terms, and planning tools. River Valleys and volunteers also share images and stories about various ceremonies on our website and through forms of social media, so be sure to check those out. There are 8 Girl Scout shop locations and an online shop where you can purchase the things you'll need for your ceremony, including bridging kits, uniforms and insignia, awards, and gifts. Staff are friendly, knowledgeable, and happy to help make your ceremony a success. You can find resources for ceremonies available for checkout under the Volunteer Resources section of River Valley's website. These include bridges, flags, banners, and historical Girl Scout items. You'll also want to consult Volunteer Essentials for policy and procedure information in addition to Section 4, which is safety-wise. The GSUSA website also contains many helpful ceremony sections. You can find additional journey resources to download here for free. The GSUSA Girls website has great activities and games to get girls thinking about Girl Scout history and traditions. Also, volunteers and older girls from across the country exchange ideas through various forms of social media on the home page. Thank you so much for participating in this ceremonies presentation, and good luck as you help your girls develop their own special ceremonies in Girl Scouting.